right, we're on the next page of our notes. Subsets. A subset of a set is a set contained within the original set. Yeah, that sounds like a fun definition. Think of some of the examples we've done so far today. So the subset of a classroom full of students, a subset of that could be the students that have a cat, or the students that have a dog, or the students that play musical instruments, right? Or the students that are on the tennis team. There's all sorts of subsets within a set. Okay, so we already talked about these. A union, where we use that symbol U in the middle, is a set containing all elements listed in either set. So that just includes everything in all the sets, right? And then intersection is a set containing all elements listed in both sets. So that's the upside down U between the two names of the sets. These are just named with capital letters. And it's just that intersection part in the middle where they cross. Okay, we're doing this example. You purchase a set of vinyl letters to decorate team lockers. We are going to list the universal set. We've got a typo there, so scribble out sample space for me and replace it with universal set. And we purchased a set of vinyl letters. So the universal set is the set of all alphabet letters in that set of vinyl letters, right? Okay. Now this gets a little weird. List a subset of the letters in the word basketball. Now here's the thing, we are not going to duplicate letters. We only list the letters we need, not how many of each letter we need. So let's figure out what letters we need to spell basketball and list them. What's the first letter we need to spell basketball? B. What's the next letter we need to spell basketball? A. What's the next letter we need to spell basketball? S. Next. K. Next. E. Next. T. Next. Okay, we already have a B. So we're good, right? The next one would be an A. We already have an A. So that one's covered. So the next letter that we don't already have in our set is L. And there's two of those, but we only need to list it once. That is the set of letters needed to spell basketball. Of course, we need duplicates of some of those, but when we're making a set of things, we don't list them twice. Okay, we're going to list a subset of the letters in wrestling. So the letters in wrestling are W, R, E, S, T, those are all unique letters, L, I, N, G. I've never paid attention to the fact that wrestling is all unique letters. None of the letters repeat at all, right? So we have our universal set of the entire alphabet, and then we have a subset of the letters, just the letters needed to spell the word basketball. And we have another subset, just the letters needed to spell the word wrestling. Okay, so this is one set, we're going to call it basketball. And this is another set, we're going to call it wrestling. Find the union of the subsets of basketball and wrestling. So just to remind you what union is, that is everything in both sets, right? So let's look at our first set. We have a B. We have an A, we have an S, we have a K, we have an E, we have a T, and we have an L. Now let's look at our second set. We need a W. Is there already a W from basketball? No, so we're going to add a W. We need an R. Do we already have an R in basketball? No, there's no R in basketball. Okay. We need an E. Look, we already have an E, right? Okay, we need an S. We already have an S. We need a T. We already have a T. We need an L. We already have an L. We need an I. Do we have an I yet? Nope, no I. We need an N. There's no N yet in our list. And we need a G. There's no G yet in our list. So even though this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be 16 total, but this only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because 4 of the letters are in both words. This is what we call the union, though. This is the union of basketball. I'll just call it BB, union wrestling. Right? That's what we just figured out. I left the L out. Okay. Next, find the intersection of the subsets of basketball and wrestling. So that would be basketball intersection wrestling. We just talked about that there were 4 letters that are in both sets. What are those 4 letters? There's an S, and an E, and a T, and an L. Those 4 letters are in both sets, so that is the intersection of the 2 sets. Okay, I really like Venn diagrams. And so, even though this page does not have a Venn diagram on it, guess what I'm going to make? Okay. Yeah. I am just a very visual person. I react better to having a Venn diagram I can look at visually instead of just a list of things. I don't know how you feel about that, but too bad if you don't like it. So here it is. Okay, so we've got the letters in the word basketball listed here. We've got the letters in the word wrestling listed here. We've got all of the letters listed here. We've got the letters that overlap listed here. I'm going to start with this group right here. So the letters that overlap, there's an S, there's an E, there's a T, and there's an L. That's going to go in the middle of our 2 sets because they're in both words, right? Now for our first circle, which is going to be our basketball circle, we also need the letters B, A, we already have an S, we need a K, we already have a T, and an E, and an L. So all we need in that part of our circle is BAK, because everything else is over here. It's still in the basketball circle, it's just in the overlap part. Then to spell the word wrestling, we already have an S, E, and T, and L, but we need a W, we need an R, we already have an E, we already have an S, we already have a T, we already have an L. We need an I, and an N, and a G. Is that a good representation of these 2 words and what letters we need to spell each one and where they overlap and things like that, right? So let's get to our relative complement. The relative complement of basketball and wrestling would be what's in basketball, not including what's in wrestling. So all of these letters are in basketball, but all of these letters are in wrestling. So which letters are in basketball but not in wrestling? A B, and an A, and a K. Those are the only letters that are in the word basketball but not in the word wrestling. So in basketball but not in wrestling. So we didn't include the other letters E, T, L, and S because those letters are in wrestling as well. Again, this example I gave earlier was like when you have a class full of kids and you have the kids that own cats, the relative complement of that would be the kids that own cats and no other kids that own like the other set, like the set of dogs. So the kids that own cats but don't own dogs. So it's okay even if they own a cat. If they own a cat and a dog, they're not included in the relative complement. Okay, really fast, 3 more blanks to fill in on this page and we're done with it. Keywords to look for. When you see the word not in a problem, that probably has something to do with the complement. When you see the word or in a problem, that could be a union problem because it can be this group or both. And then when you see the word and in a problem, that could be an intersection because it's just the letters or just the elements that are in both sets, like in the middle of this example.